our country's first cabinet members, Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton. They both had some pretty good ideas, but to understand them, we're going to have to look deeper, inside their brains. Here comes an idea on their background. Hamilton had a tough childhood as an orphan. He worked hard as a scribe to support himself, and people were so impressed they paid for his college tuition. He graduated and later fought alongside George Washington in the Revolutionary War and then became Secretary of the Treasury. Jefferson, on the other hand, had a fairly easy childhood, with a wealthy family and a good education in law. He was promoted to the Second Continental Congress, served as a minister to France, and became the Secretary of State. This ideas on their view on human beings. Jefferson believed in the abilities of the common man, which was that men were capable of making good decisions. Hamilton had a very different idea. He said that the common man was selfish and bad at making decisions. Next idea is on the best type of government. Hamilton believed in a strong and powerful central government made of a few sensible people. He feared that if the states had a lot of power, they would do selfish things. He was a critic of the Articles of Confederation and thought it gave too much power to the states and not enough power to the federal government. On the other hand, Jefferson favored having more state power and less government power, so that the people could govern themselves. He knew that the Articles of Confederation had problems, but he liked the fact that it gave power to the states and individuals, so that the power would be spread out. Jefferson agreed with most of the Constitution. However, one thing he didn't like was that there was no Bill of Rights, and because of this, he feared that the federal government would abuse the rights of individuals. He believed in a strict interpretation of the Constitution. Hamilton was a strong supporter of the Constitution because he believed it corrected most of the flaws of the Articles of Confederation, such as more federal government power and the inclusion of a strong executive leader. He believed in a loose interpretation of the Constitution. Because Hamilton thought most humans were selfish, he believed in a few wealthy, well-educated people having lots of power. He believed in an industrial economy, which led to him forming the Bank of the U.S. Jefferson had an opposing view on people, so he had an opposing view of the government, which was that the power should be spread out, and the common man should be at the center of the economy. He pictured a country filled with small independent farms in which the people were their own bosses. This allowed people to work hard, which allowed the nation to prosper. Furthermore, this allowed the government to focus more on keeping the nation and its people safe and secure from foreign affairs and on the economy. Jefferson's beliefs, which included limited federal government powers and more state rights, were agreed on by many people, so he formed the Republican Party. Hamilton's ideas didn't match the ideas of Jefferson, so he created and became the leader of the Federalist Party. The end.